Welcome to another episode on our channel today. This is it's going to be quite an adventure for me because this is something I've been wanting for some time. I would venture to guess it was made late 1990s, early 2000s. It's hard to say, but very rare to find this figure in this kind of shape. This box is actually better than some boxes I've seen that are brand new, shipped to you directly from the company that made them. And this is very, very old. I almost asked the guy not to send me the box or the body or the head. All I wanted was the outfit. So I opted, for him to send me the box. I'm so glad I did. It's in pristine shape. So this is an unboxing of an item that is so rare. You'd be lucky to find it. So it just opens up like this. And you can see he's got the stuff here and tissue around it. So I am going to just start pulling things out and hope nothing is amiss. So the top tray, the gentleman in Belgium put tissue around this. That was nice of him to do that. All right, so it comes with a feather. And this goes into the hat. And I have the exact same outfit for one of my figures, but I'm looking to collect eventually 3 to have the 3 musketeers. So it has this that goes over the boot, which was unique back then. We weren't seeing that sort of thing. So you put the boot on, or actually you put this over the leg and then the boot. So that's nice. 2 of these, they're in perfect condition. Even comes with socks. Wow. So that's very nice. And this shirt is absolutely awesome. So what else do we have? And well, I need an X-Acto knife to open it. I always try to open it from the bottom. That's the bottom. Okay. I can't believe how good the box in terms of somebody took really good care of this thing, is all I can say. I'm surprised it doesn't have a year on it. I really was curious about when this was made. And I looked at the internet to see if I could get more information. That wasn't very helpful. Finally came out. Okay, good. All right, let's see what else we have. More tissue paper. So the gentleman from Belgium took time to wrap this sheath. Do you see how ornate it is? Oh my gosh. Yes, and a sheath for the dagger as well, but for the sword. It's an awesome shape. Again, it could have been flaked off here and there. It's in perfect shape. We have the sword. It's kind of metal-like. Yeah, has some substance to it. Obviously, this is plastic, but it is in tremendous shape. Wow. And the dagger, wow, yeah. Same sort of alloy that it's made out of for the blade, and plastic in terms of the handle, but fully intact. And then we have the hat. Wow. I'm awestruck actually at how good shape the clothing, the accessories are pristine, absolutely pristine. I would have rather have had a G.I. Joe head, to be honest. This has to be the ugliest head ever made. No words. So we'll pause now, and I will probably use a universal body, MX02-A body, to put this figure that I want to add to my other figure together. So we'll pause now, and we'll be right back. We are back, and I've gotten all the clothes off of this gentleman, so you can see him as he was made from way back when. He has rooted hair, which today I think we wish more figures had rooted hair, but better done than this one is. But look at the proportion of the arms to the body. They seem too long. And the hands, you only got one set of hands, grasping hands, when you got figures way back when. All right. So this is nothing to write home about. The skin tone here is way different than the tone here on the body. And again, these are really clumsy looking hands. So that's the best reason in all the world to use those two reasons to use a universal body. Joints will not be visible, and this gives you more options in terms of head sculpts to use. So we'll pause for now, and let me at least get set up to put the clothes on, and then we'll go about picking out a head. We are back, and I was starting to get a little worried when I was trying to do some adjustments to this universal body. I wasn't getting any movement out with the arms, and I've never had that happen before. But now I've been able to get some range of movement here. Hot water works on everything. You can use a hairdryer as well. A lot of people prefer that method. I'm a hot water person myself. I just don't have the patience for a hairdryer. So anyway, he moves. I'm happy. Okay, so let's get some stuff on this guy, and let's see what he ends up looking like. So I'm going to point his toes down first. And I think the first thing I want to get on are his pants. So let's see if this is Velcro. It's a snap. It's 2 snaps. All right, that's good. Toes down, in goes the pants. Okay. Here we go. Stage 1, pants on. Looking good. All right. What next? Let's do the shirt. Might as well. What I usually do is I put the arms straight up. And yeah, so they're straight up, and maybe turned in a little bit. And then we put the shirt on over. I'm going to try to be careful here because I do not want the strings where the strings are going through the loops. I don't want the strings to come out of the loops. If that happens, it's going to be a bear getting the strings back in. You're going to have a lot of patience with this process. You're going to have to thread it through a needle, and that's not going to be an easy feat because the needle will be very small in terms of an opening, and the thread is very thick, so it's going to fray, number one, and as it frays, you'll not be able to thread it very well. So you'll have to thread like one fray in to the needle, then another fray in to the needle, and so forth until all the frays are in. Then you'll be able to get the needle with the string through the loop in front. Fortunately, I was able to get the shirt on without having any of the strings come out of any of the loops. That's a wonderful miracle. So we have his shirt on. His inner shirt, that is. All right. So now we just need to tuck it in. So I have to unsnap the 2 snaps and get this baby in. The shirt is very long, which is actually good. It'll stay in the pants nicer that way. Snap them together. All right. And there he is with the shirt on. That's looking pretty darn good. All right, let's repeat the process. Arms up, point in. Let me find the where the joint is facing. Okay, point in. Where is it facing? Okay, I got to turn it around here. And in. Okay, now let's get the black shirt on. So I want to take the wrists out, the wrist joints out first, then tape the sleeve over the wrist joint or the opening where the joint goes, so that when I slip the other sleeve over it, it doesn't get bunched up on the inside. So let me pause and get some packing tape, real strong tape. We are back, and I, with some hot water, got the wrist connectors out. So those are now both gone from each arm. I'm going to pull the shirt up as far as I can go, kind of cover the wrist, and basically tape, use masking, not masking tape, but packing tape. Put that over the arm or where the wrist connector was, so that when the other shirt goes over it, this doesn't go all the way up into the other sleeve, and we can't, it'll be a pain trying to get the shirt to come back out of the sleeve. So they're taped as tight as I can get them, and hopefully now they won't bunch up as this shirt goes on. This is going to be a tighter fit. So I have the arms straight up. The other way you can go, sometimes it works better, is put the arms in the back and inward. The main thing is to try to get the arms through the sleeves. So I'm trying to get that through there. And then try to repeat the process on this side too. And I just discovered something. I could have avoided this whole process if I had paid more attention. Oh, I love it. All right. So that's going to go on there really nicely now. But at least I showed you how to keep the, the white sleeves from being bunched up. So that was a mistake that actually served a good purpose in the end. So it has fasteners to the front of the shirt. So we got the sleeves through, the white sleeves, through the black sleeves. We can bring that up now. Oh, perfect. Okay. And the white is showing. So now all I have to do is grab the tape, pull it off. Boom. So the sleeves are now showing, which you want it to do. Not all the way necessarily, but at least a little bit. I'm a happy camper. Now, all I need to do is make sure I get the collar up a little bit more. Yeah, everything is looped in, so I haven't lost any loops, thank God. I did with this one, but with the sleeve, but this one has enough of a point intact that it slipped through the hole nicely. This side's okay. All I need to do is take my trusty flat head screwdriver, and then what I want to do is I just want to make sure that this gets folded in nicely. Good. It's in there. Now I can snap, or fasten, I should say. Let me tie the string up here first. Then I'll fasten the jacket in place. We are back, and I'm a little embarrassed because I missed it. These had 3 fasteners. One here, one here, one here. It was a no-brainer once I recognized that that was actually attached in the front, not sewn together, but fastened together. Took the fasteners off. That made it easier to get the shirt on. But you still saw what I did with taking the wrist connectors out, putting tape over the white part of the shirt. So when you put the black sleeve on, this shirt, the white shirt, wouldn't get bunched up somewhere up in here, and then trying to grab a hold of the white shirt, getting to it and pulling it down would be a pain. You can solve all of that with some basically packing tape. It's strong and it sticks hard. Once you get the sleeve through, you can pull the tape off. It comes off fairly easy once you get the right angle on the tape. So he's got both shirts on. He looks great. It's just a matter of how far down do you want to go on the sleeve. So there he is with the socks on. Looking good. Now we can put the outer layer of the boot on. Again, I would try to grab the pants at the end and make them as tight as I possibly could in the back. Then shimmy this on with the toes pointing out as best as you can. So now it's finally over the foot. we can breathe a sigh of relief. It's up there, the foot is turned, and all that is needed is for the shoe to go on. But let's get the other one on. Back again, and you know, it's just going to be very difficult to get that boot on with the sock, so I took the sock off, and I'm going to try it pointing the toes up, so they're up to get it started into the boot. Oh, that's going to go on a lot easier now. Take a little work, but not as much as it did with the sock, that's for sure. So then you straighten the toes out, and the boot is on there pretty darn good. Get the elastic on there. There's 2 pieces of elastic. So we'll get them both on there. And that boot is not going to go anywhere, with or without the elastic. The elastic's a little overkill, but it does keep that, what kind of is like a gaiter, it keeps that in place. So that's not going to go anywhere. So I'm going to take the sock off of this one too. There we go. Ooh, it took a bit. But it has worked. All right. Ooh. Now, what I would do is look for my flathead screwdriver. And this is where you don't want the pants, you know, totally fluffing out. And you want to kind of snuggle those down into the gaiters or the boot liners or whatever you want to call them. Just a little bit. You can puff them back out if you want, but at least get them settled in there at first. All right, we're doing it now. Let me figure out the sheath and the belt. So we'll pause a bit. Let me figure that part out. We are back, and the belt, sheath, scabbard, you know, you can buckle, unbuckle it. So it's all buckled in now. The important thing to keep in mind is make sure that the shirt hangs over. There are splits in the shirt for the dagger to show through, and another split over here for the main sword to show through. So he's looking pretty good now. We have his hat together with his little red feather. So now it's a matter of picking a head. I think, well, there are a few choices that would work. If we put Tony Stark in here, he actually looks quite good as a musketeer. But I don't know if I'm going to use him as Iron Man in a different way. So I'm not sure yet whether I should use him. But he's definitely a strong possibility. Liam Neeson. He looks good too, but he doesn't have the strong facial features in terms of darkness that Tony Stark does. So from that perspective, I don't think he would work if I did a comparison with the two. So I'll put him out of view. Steve Rogers. Let's see. He actually would look pretty good as a cowboy. As a musketeer, he might be a little too clean shaven for our taste. But he could work, but a little too clean shaven, maybe. So, and Viggo Mortensen, let's see. Well, the hat's having a hard time fitting. His hair is a little thick. No, he's not as dark as I would want his hair and goatee and so forth, beard. Yeah, so I don't think that'll work. Aaron Eckhart. Let's see. That feather keeps trying to come out too far on one side. It's not too bad. But compared to Tony Stark, I still think I would go with him if I wasn't going to use Tony Stark for anything else. So this guy probably looks the best. We used him, or a head like him, because I have several of these heads. We used him as a medieval knight. But see the darkness in terms of the facial hair and so forth, it just makes him look like a cool musketeer, I think. But Tony Stark looks nice as well. Now this guy I like because he has like a little smirk on his face. And I just like that because of that. And he has some facial hair too. Hat up a little bit more. There you go. So he could work. So let me put a neck adapter on. I mean, this is a neck attachment, but in order for these two heads to fit, I would need to put something like this. Put it over here, over this. So let's do that. Okay. There we go. And turn him a bit more. Okay, so his head is moved over here. Let me try this guy. Recognizing we've already used him, or a head similar to him. Let me take him off while I do this. Yeah. Even that pose is pretty nice the way he ended up. Wow. He looks pretty good, doesn't he? All right, so let's just say we went with him. I think Tony Stark would look smashing as a musketeer. But let's just say we went with him. I do have this other guy as a musketeer. So we'll turn him this way. So, I think they look pretty good together. I just need a third musketeer. Oh my gosh. So I'm missing the feather for this guy, and I'm missing the dagger. So I'll have to see if I can find a dagger and or come up with a feather substitute. Yeah. All right. So what I like the most about these figures, well, there are many things. The clothing is impeccable. You can see, especially on this guy, I've had on, not this guy, but this guy. I've had on my shelves for a long time. The white shirt shows through the slits here. And he just looks absolutely smashing. The outfit is perfect for musketeers. And to think that that was made a number of years ago is just amazing to me. But what I really like is the sheath. It is so ornate. The design in the sheath and so forth is so ornate. I just love it. So here is the guy with this head on. Now the only problem with this one is I don't have the right attachment. On the inside of the head, there's a little slit, a groove. And the attachment should have an exterior section that would fit into that groove. So it'd be slightly smaller and it would fit better if I had one of those attachments. Right now, if I turn him around, you can see he's not on there right. There's a big gap in there, and so that head doesn't fit on, or that attachment doesn't fit this head very nicely. Sorry, poor guy. Sorry about that guy. If I take this head off, and put this head on, that's taken care of. The head fits perfectly. So the joys of everything with attachments and so forth. But I have to admit, at first I favored this guy, but I am favoring this guy. I just need the right attachment. All right. So anyway, these are cool outfits, especially considering they were made such a long time ago. I mean, look at how sophisticated they are. The inner shirt, the outer shirt, the slits through the shirt so that you can see not on this, well, here, you can see the white shirt showing through. Here it's easier to see because he's worn this shirt for some time, so you can see the white sticking out. And then the covers, the exterior covers that go over the shoes, they just look immaculate. The ornateness of the sheath and the leather piece that's holding onto the sheath is so artfully done. See the designs here too? Very nicely done. I mean, this is great stuff. So I just need a third musketeer to complete my set. And then I will get the right attachment for this guy. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen. If you have, consider giving us a thumbs up, subscribing to our channel. In the meantime, everyone, please have a great day.